the 4th day, tomorrow's the last day. And I'm just like, can we go on for another week? Like, I want to keep watching these lectures, watching these workshops, hanging out with these people essentially. Like, it's just so much fun. I never thought I'd be so energized by being on Zoom meetings all day long for 4 days. So it's a really mind shift of like, I don't know, it's just so crazy. Like, who would have thought, you know?
Make your ideas public and see what happens. You just can't know what will happen in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years. So first, come up with a solution to a problem. And for me, this often happens when I'm taking a break. So I'll be going on a walk or I'll be talking with a friend, and suddenly an idea will just come to mind. Then you need to believe in your idea. And this is the hardest part because it's your idea. No one told you to do it or is holding you accountable to it. Doubts may come in, such as, is it a good idea? Or will it have an impact? At the same time, I have a feeling and I smile when I think about it because I know there's potential and I trust that. Then you make it public. And once you do, it's going to go in different directions. It's going to influence others and it's going to lead to new opportunities. It all starts with your desire to be creative.
This weekend, past week and weekend have made it clear that I'm doing the right thing for my career. I'm working hard for something, and that feels really good because you do have this awesome community that's behind your back that really, makes me feel like I'm part of something more, something special.
I feel this community is a spark of light in the world, a spark of good, of feelings of acceptance and of love. When people feel that there is no good things in the world, that they are able to see how, yes, there are good things, and there are people that support each other and that help each other and are there for each other and are happy when others succeed.
September came and Hurricane Maria made a disaster in Puerto Rico. My whole family is over there, so it was a very, very stressful moment, and it kind of defined what my culture and the patriotism is in my person. So after this, I realized, you know what? Everything I do from now on in my career, I gotta think of representing who Puerto Ricans are and what we do and what we can do and what we've done. My advice to all of you that feel discouraged at one point doing whatever you're doing or trying to achieve is remember why you started, because there's nothing more important than remembering what led you to take that decision, what makes you feel the way you feel when you're doing that. And that was the thing that pushed me through all of those bad moments and those hardships. So I just want to reiterate, remember why you started.
I realized it's okay not being okay. And actually, personally, accepting that gave me so much freedom. Just give it your best. If you fail, you fail, but you'll get right back up and you will do the best you can.
Sometimes, through the monotony of your day-to-day life and working, you kind of get run down, or you feel like you're stuck in the day-to-day things. And you're like, what, is this my life? Am I crazy? Do I even like this anymore? When you go to an event like Young Architects Summer Series, it totally switches that off. And it makes you rethink, yes, this is something that I love. This is what I'm passionate about.
My name is Tony Lopez, and I am here to show you guys today how to accelerate your path to professional development using spreadsheets. Let's say we were logging our hours, we were going through our daily work schedule, we plugged it in, we have all this information now on hours, different project areas, different objectives for those areas. We go in and add it. We can then see that it's automatically filled in for us already, which is really nice. I know you might be saying, am I a magician too? I am not a magician, I'm just an Excel enthusiast. But you can see now that it's all functioned and formatted based on the experience areas. as well as the individual objectives for those areas. All these cells, you can tell they're changed on their color coded, and that's easily done by going up here to the conditional formatting, and there's already set parameters you can use. I never really use them. You can use them if you want, but I usually just go to manage rules and then create a new rule, which I have a rule here currently. You can edit this rule, and it's basically a color scale. So the number with the maximum number gets a white, and so if you need an area that you need more experience in, or however you want to format this, you can change the color types, green for good, red for bad, however you want to change it, but just know you can do that, and it's really nice to be able to visually see data that you want called out.
I feel like at other architecture events, you kind of have to put on this facade, but this is just so real. It has nothing to do with business, but it has everything to do with the community and just meeting people and being yourself. That alone is grows successful connections and allows people to better themselves in a way that they wouldn't at a regular conference.
When we think about resiliency, I don't want you to think about resiliency as this you're so happy and you're killing it. And no, resiliency is being able to recover from those setbacks, is knowing that life is happening, but we're going to recover and we're going to adapt and we're going to keep going. When you think of a personal why, right? If you're thinking right now what a personal why would be for you, don't say I can't, or I want to avoid to be an architect that works 9 to 5, or I want to avoid to be like my dad or like my mom. No, that's all negative. That's not going to help. You want positive and positive ways that reflect who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to experience. And it's so important when you're thinking about your personal why to write in present tense, because you're living that. Your personal why is you now. Your purpose is a reflection of who you are and what you bring to the world, beginning today.
No other conference I've been to before has had just a town hall meeting, months before the event, just asking attendees, what would be most helpful to you? And even though at the time I really disagreed with the move to an online only format, I thought everybody would have Zoom burnout. I was already having Zoom burnout at the time. And to be honest, this has been truly incredible. I mean, I've never been to another conference that's transitioned so seamlessly over to an online only format. I don't know if I can pinpoint exactly what's different, but the energy is still there.
I was starting to study when my son was literally 3 months old. I approached it how, I'm investing that time into the future. So I needed to make that time for myself. And yeah, I said, I breastfed and I integrated it in some of my study materials, but a lot of times I would hand him off to my husband. I would have my mom or my sister come over to watch him. Now that I am done, I do have that time where I can spend more time with him, and especially now that he's more mobile.
I had 2 newborns when I was testing, so I had to take the time. And it was pretty much a sacrifice, sleep, and pretty much everything else. I was night shift for taking the kids and giving them bottles, but then I would just study and put them back to sleep and then continue studying.
If it's not the exams, parent guilt is always going to be there. You're always guilty about, so always feel guilty about something, because it's it's a selfless act to be a parent.
In the long range, they probably will not think gosh, I can remember when she was studying for the exam and she wouldn't, she didn't get me that toy one time, or they're not going to think about that. They won't, they'll still get into college. They'll still, it'll be fine.
It was really exciting to see how many people were able to participate. So the accessibility of it and how that allowed for so many different types of people, from different places and different points in their career to come together and learn together and be supportive was just a great feeling.
Tonight, we get to talk about one of my favorite things, which is your big, crazy, impossible dreams. They may feel impossible, they may feel very far away, but maybe they're not as far away as you think. Raise your hand if you've been inspired this weekend by some of the keynote presentations, hearing other people's journeys of like, you know, I had this idea, right? I had this idea, this vision, this dream, and here's what I did to make that a reality, right? And so we can go to events, we can go to conferences, and we can get all inspired, but then what, right? I really want to create an opportunity for you to connect with like the truth of who you are and what you really want.
Here's my diagram. The diagram is this whole thing, this whole triangle is architecture. And everyone is touching a lot of surface level stuff. Like everyone's touching all the surface level stuff, going a little deeper. But once things start getting serious and people have to look at themselves and other people around them and really see like, who am I and what am I in this situation, everyone goes blank. And I think Young Architect Series really taps into that part of architecture, really asking, who am I?